This is how to switch off SHIF Relief in Nifty Payroll. So what I'm going to cover in this video is how to switch off the relief and how to redo your October payroll. I'm just going to demonstrate that. Then I should be able to do videos for this in future, as a specific video on how to recover SHIF from your employees, but we have to get the figures first before we do this, so that I'll show you how to do today. But the actual recovery, I'll do another short video. And then you need to pay the PAYE difference to carry if you'd already done your return. So I just explained quickly, and maybe I'll do a video for this just to show you how. So after you've processed without the SHIF, you export your new PAYE CSV, get the P10, do an amended return. So on the home page, the A basic info, instead of selecting original and type of return, just set it as amended. If you've never done an amended return, this is how it's done. And then you import the CSV. It'll import all the PAYE, all right, minus, or let's say with the SHIF added back. So it will show the total amount of pay that you're supposed to pay. Now, to get the net pay, the difference which you're supposed to pay, you get your e-slip, your PRN that you had paid with, and you add the details on the sheet K PAYE payment credits under the K2 self-assessment section. So you put the PRN, you'll see on the sheet the PRN, the date, and the amount. What that will do is that now on the last page, the tax due page, you're going to see now the difference, which is the SHIF relief amount. And then you upload that, you generate an e-slip, and you'll get an e-slip just for that difference, and you can pay that, so that now your PAYE is up to date, less SHIF. Okay, so how do we switch it off? Like we said, you go to your statutory rates, and I'll show you what to do there. But first, let's go and get our figures. So let's go to October 1st. Let's get our figures, right? So first, I just show you how to filter to see your figures. Let's come here. So I'm on the section filter, come to relief 2, insurance reliefs, and you can select SHIF relief. So those are the figures that we want to reverse. Now, to get these figures so that you are ready to recover them next month, let's go to reports. Let's remove these filters by clicking off. Go to reports. So I want you to use this report here, this one, and I'll show you how it works combined with these select items. So you double click on this to open. Now, if you already have some things ticked, you could keep them on, but I suggest you switch them off if you don't usually use them. I was just checking if I have any other ticked. Then you scroll down to insurance relief, R insurance, SHIF relief, this one, SHIF relief, and you tick and click in another line. Okay, so you close that. Now, what that will do, if I double click on this report, I remember I'm on view. If I double click on it, you'll see it will only show me SHIF relief. So anytime you want to look at one specific item and you want to export it to Excel, this is an easy way to do it. All right, so again, you've ticked SHIF relief on this, and then if you wanted to look at it in PDF, you'll get just the SHIF relief. And then if you want to look at it as an Excel, you use this. So as usual, we want to export this figure, change here to export, double click on this, it confirms one item will be exported. Let me dump it in my test folder here, and I can open it so that we can look at it. Here it is, and I have my list. So save that. You're going to use that now for doing recoveries next month. So now let me show you how to switch off now that we have our figures. You go to the home page, statutory rates, click here editable first. You can't change anything without clicking editable. So the form is unlocked, you can now edit. Then I want you to click on values and locate your SHIF relief here it is. Now since, let's say it had been in effect since let's say January 2024, what we would do is just end it, say in September 2024. But in this case, we had only used it for 1 month. So a good way to switch off, right, I put that in quotes, is to come and say inception, inception. You could just as easily say no end, no end, but I prefer to use inception, inception as my convention. What that means is this is only applicable between a distant year in the past and a distant year in the past, which will mean that any current year will not have it. So that's how you switch off. Inception, inception for SHIF relief. You can leave the rest. Maybe one day it will come back. Who knows? So you close that. You go back to Payslips. Now before we process, let's come here and say show apps only. Let's go and look at our tax. Yeah, let's look at the tax. Pay on, now is that what I want to look at? Pay on taxable pay. This is post. Maybe I don't, in this case, when I have release. Unlike Payslip Maker, I don't get to see my net tax. I don't have gross tax and net tax. But let me tell you what I was trying to do. I was trying to see the effect on the taxation. So in this case, let's just look at the relief. We want to see that it disappears. So right now it's there, right? SHIF relief. You have this. So what will happen is that your net PAYE is going to reduce for each person by this amount, and for the total by that amount. So we can keep this figure in mind, and then we're going to see that our tax has increased by approximately 3,000 shillings. So if I process after switching off, these figures should disappear. I hadn't looked at what the figures were before for tax, but basically if you look at your PAYE, it will have, oops, I'm still on export. Let's go back to view. Your PAYE will have increased by 3,000. Actually, we can check that quickly. So let's go switch this thing back on. Statutory rates. Yes. Value. SHIF relief. Put no end first because it will do a check for inverted. So it's better to go backwards in this case. Okay, so that's where we were originally. Let's process Payslips. We see what the PAYE was, and then we process again. So it's 338,302. So if it's going up by 3k, it should become 341 something. I think that's correct. 341 something. So 338,302 should go up. We go back, switch off. This time you can go forwards, inception, inception. Go back, process. And you notice every time I change, I click in a new line to save. And you can see it's gone up by 3k, 341, 247. So that's how you switch off, and that's how you get your figures that we're going to recover next month. So I'll do another video to show that.